must your conscience my acquitted seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unsneed, but yet to me they're strong. Why to a public count I may not go. It is the love of the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affection, would like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, lightly timbered for a loud wind, would have reverted my bow again, but not where I've aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost? A sister driven into desperate terms? Whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age, for her perfections, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull, that we can let our beard be shook with danger, and think it past time. You shortly shall hear more. I hope will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
I saw them not. They were given to me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow I shall beg leave to see your kingly eyes, and when I shall, first asking you pardon therein to recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are the rest come back, or is it some abuse, and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis the Hamlet character, naked, and in postscript, here he says, alone. Can you devise me?
I am lost in it, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart, that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou?
If it be so, Laertes, and how should it be so? How otherwise will you be ruled by me?
Aye, so you will not overrule me to a peace?
To thine own peace, if he be now returned, as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit. Now ripen my device, under the which he shall not choose but fail, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, and even his mother shall uncharge the practice, and call it accident.
I will be ruled, the rather if you could devise it so, that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and in Hamlet's hearing for quality, wherein they say you shine. Your sums of parts did not together pluck such envy from him, as did that one, and that in my regard of unworthiest siege.
What part is that?
The very rid-rammed in the cap of youth, yet needful too, for youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears, than settled age his sables and his weeds. Importing health and graveness, 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy, I've seen myself, and served against the French.
What out of this?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick, or snuff, that would abate it, and nothing is at like goodness still, for goodness, growing in a pleasure, dies in his own too much, that we would do, we should do, when we would. For this would changes, and hath abatements, and delays as many as there are tongues, and hands, and accidents. And this should is like a spendthrift's sigh, that hurts by easing, but to the quick of an ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son, more than in words? No place indeed should murder sanctuarize, revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber, Hamlet returned shall know you are come home, but put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you. Bring you and find together a wager on your head. He, being remiss and most generous, free from all contriving, will not pursue the foils, so that, with ease or little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited and passive practice requite him from your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so immortal that but dip a knife in it. Where it draws blood, no capitalism so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue, under the moon, can save the thing from death, that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with the contagion that, if I'll give him slightly, it may be death.